Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here, a very warm welcome to you. My name's Emily and I am a knitter, crocheter, very occasional sewer. Again, very occasional. One day, I promise. Today's episode is my weekly podcast, so I'll be showing you any finished objects. I actually have a couple for you this week. I'll be showing you any progress that I've done throughout the week. I have some paused WIPs to show you in the progress section, so that's exciting. I also have a cast on to show you. I think it's not going to be a surprise what it is, but I have a cast on. I also have one acquisition, I think, yep. And I'm going to show you a little bit of hand dyeing that I've been doing. So yeah, stay tuned and let's get stuck in. Hello everyone, I hope that you're all doing well, that you've had an absolutely fantastic week so far. My week, it has been one to remember, I think, for me personally anyway. Yes, it's been busy for one. As you all know, I've been back at work for a while now. But yeah, where to start? Quickly before I dive in, there will be chapters, so if you're not interested in my little update section, please feel free to skip ahead. I'm just going to touch upon my week, really, because, well, it's like a little mini waffle section, but please feel free to skip ahead. As I say, chapters are below, so yeah, just choose where you want to jump to and the chapter will take you there. Okay, so my week. Gosh, it's more like today actually. I'm recording a bit later than normal today because I decided, well, let's start from the start. Let's not jump ahead. I work for a small company and I became a manager of a small team a couple of years, well, about a year and a bit ago. It was a challenge that I was quite nervous to take on because I'm quite an anxious person and my confidence isn't the best. So I was very surprised when they offered the job to me, because they offered it to me once, I turned it down, they hired someone, that person didn't work out, and then they offered it to me again, basically. And yes, I accepted because I felt like I needed a challenge. I felt like I was getting a bit stagnant and yeah, let's try this challenge. And yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. I love it. The company I work for, the two ladies who own it are wonderful. I absolutely adore them. They are so supportive and the team that they've built around us all are fantastic. Everybody, it's the dream team, as they would say. So yeah, I feel really honoured to be part of that team, and I also feel very honoured to be a manager and manage a small team myself. And yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. But last year, something happened that kind of knocked me off the rails a little bit. It was a bit of trauma, which was not only difficult at the time, it was very difficult actually because I found out while I was in the office and I was a mess, basically. But they were all very supportive and they sent me home. And then, yeah, I don't know why I'm being vague and descriptive at the same time. It's the weirdest combination. But anyway, yeah, so that was difficult. And it then started a snowball effect of thoughts. Certain things happen in life. And, you know, at the time, it's that initial thing. But then afterwards, it's like a knock-on effect and it kind of triggers a lot of other things. And I've had a lot of thoughts that, I mean, I don't know where they've come from. Nothing too bad. It's just like fears of the future, so to speak. And yeah, they've really knocked me about a bit. And I do have nights where I can't sleep because the thoughts start. And, you know, some of you will know what I mean. When those thoughts start, it's like your body says, no, I'm awake now. I've got to process these thoughts. They need to be processed. Yeah, and that makes it difficult. And then my mood started to drop. And yeah, I mean, I'm one of these people who likes to soldier on. not necessarily pretend nothing's happening, but I've always said to myself, it's work first. As long as I can function for work, nothing else matters. That's not healthy. I realise that now, that is not healthy. I used to think it's a really nice thing to be so strong for work and to be so dedicated for my work that I put my work first. But having a one-on-one with one of my managers, she kind of pointed out that actually, no, I come first. How I'm feeling comes first, because if I'm not feeling right, no matter how hard I work, it's not going to be the best that I can give, if that makes sense. I'm still doing a good job, as she likes to point out to me a lot, bless her. But it's not the best I can give for them or for myself. So, sorry, therapy session here, everybody. Anyway, after an emotional conversation with my manager, she basically said that they want to offer me business coaching to see if that can help. So I basically had my first business coaching session this morning, about 11 o'clock today, and I had no idea what to expect at all. I was just thinking, oh, it's going to be very formal. I'm going to have to suit up, well, dress up nice, you know, like, hey, dressing up nice. It's not very often. But yeah, I thought I'm going to have to be really businesslike, and, you know, I don't know what she's going to ask. It's going to be all about work. I don't know how I feel, you know. It was I was very nervous, basically, but also excited. I said to my partner before I went to the session, I was like, I need to be present. I need to make sure that I give everything, no matter what she says, even if I think it's tacky or cheesy. I need to give myself 100% to the process. That was my goal going in. So we started the session. It was good. She asked me a few things. She told me about herself. Then she asked me to tell her, you know, a brief thing about me. You know what I'm like. I like to waffle, so it probably wasn't brief. Probably too much information, I'm sure. But yeah, and then she started delving deeper. Let me tell you, it was an hour session. We got about 45 minutes in, and I started blubbing like a baby. Honestly, it was uncontrollable crying. I broke down. She was going through one of the steps with me on how to manage mood, basically. Your inner critic is what she specialises in. I have the biggest inner critic, personally, I do. I know that for a fact. But she specialises in helping you control that inner critic, listen to it, and constructively control it. So yeah, it was fascinating, the things she had to say. But yeah, she got to this one point, and honestly, it was like, you know when someone knows how to press your button? That was that moment, and it was waterworks, utterly gone. So in a way, it was good because it highlighted something that I didn't even know. So that was great. But then obviously I'm blubbing to a complete stranger, and she was just like, took it in a stride. She said, don't worry about it. She makes most people cry. So I was like, for you, you know. But I came out of it, and wow, I was not expecting that at all. It was like a therapy session, and I think I totally understand it now when people say you have to find the right therapist. Definitely agree with that. I just believed, because I've been through therapy before, like with counsellors and like through the doctor and things like that, and they've never worked, and I've always walked away thinking, well, therapy doesn't work for me, you know, one of those high horse, you know, person. I get that it works for some people, but for me, I just believed it didn't work for me. But it turns out, wrong therapists, because this lady, honestly, she gets me, and she knows how to talk to me, and she knows how to reach what she needs to reach to kind of give me the tools to fix it. And wow. Wow is all I can say. It took me ages to calm down. I mean, I still feel quite puffy now, but I think I'm okay. And I was like, why did I choose to record the podcast after this coaching session? I just thought it's going to be fine, not a problem. I'm going to be emotionally fine. No, let me tell you, wow. Yeah, so I don't know why I went on that tangent. I think it's half because I feel like my eyes are still puffy. They might be. I apologise if they are, but that is why, if they are. Whew. yeah, what a day. What a day. I think I'm ready to take on the world. No, definitely not. Not after one session. But she's given me a couple of exercises that she wants me to do, kind of like homework. And she also has a book, so I'm going to be reading a chapter or two in there because I think she's going to email me what chapters she wants me to read, and then we're going to catch up in about 2 weeks, see how I'm getting on. Yeah, my gosh, I needed that, everybody. I needed it, and yeah, clearly I needed to waffle about it. I don't know why, but yes, there we are. That's been my week so far. Well, today. The rest of my week has been busy, apart from the weekend. The weekend was quiet, which was just what I needed. Right, now what we at? Oh gosh, nearly 10 minutes. I apologise for the waffle, but that is also, I kind of touched upon that because also this video might be all over the place because my head is kind of a bit, what is going on? So yeah, that is where I'm at the minute, and yeah, I'm going to try my best. I've got everything around me. I don't think I've forgotten anything, and I have a lot to show you, so I really need to get started. So thank you so much if you stayed and listened to the waffle. I really appreciate that. It's just nice for me to kind of get things off my chest and also give you a bit of realism, because no matter how somebody looks on the outside, they're not necessarily okay on the inside. So I think we just have to give each other a little bit of understanding, because I know for me, at least, when somebody seems a bit rude or a bit short with me, I'm always thinking that's fine, because I don't know what's going on with them. Unless they're happy to tell me, I'm not going to probe, I'm not going to ask, but I'm also not going to hold it against them, because, you know, there's been times that I've been short with people and I've not meant to be. I've not even realised I have been. Sometimes people have called me up on it and said, you know, what's going on, you know, and then I'll elaborate. But it's always best to take everything with a pinch of salt and just have a bit more compassion for others, because as I say, you don't know what anybody's going through. So yeah, it's therapy corner. Definitely not a therapist, no way. But yeah, I'm feeling quite zen at the minute. I feel pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to get I'm going to jump into my finished objects for this week. I have 2 finished objects this week. One of them is one that has been paused for a little while, so I'm quite excited to show you. And the other one, you probably won't be surprised, but you may be, I don't know. But the first one is my other yarn cozy Lite. So I'll show you the marker, that lovely little teacup with a ball of yarn going into it. That is where I got to last week on this, and then obviously I finished it off and put the yarn inside. So this is my second yarn cozy Lite. The pattern is by Knitty Natty, the one and only, and the yarn is my hand-dyed yarn, Apex yarn, my little hand-dyed yarn business. This was just leftovers from a sample, and yeah, I just thought I'd use it to make a yarn cozy. Pretty pleased. So I'm very excited. The yarn inside is by Boss Castle Yarn. Again, highly recommend her yarn. Absolutely stunning. And I can't wait to get started in that project, because all the yarn is caked up for this project, the one that's inside, but obviously I haven't started yet. Yarn Cozy Lite, first finished object. So my second finished object, I'm very excited to show you, because it's a gift and I've been meaning to finish it for a while. It's finally finished. I ploughed ahead with it this weekend because we had a free weekend. We decided not to go out. So I ploughed ahead with this and it's now finished. So I'm going to show you. Here he is. This is Totoro. I believe the pattern, it's an amigurumi crochet pattern, and it's by Lucy Collin. I think it's Lucy Collin or Lucy Collins. Either way, the pattern will definitely be linked below in the description, so just double check in there. But here he is. This is Totoro, and it's the amigurumi pattern, and he is from My Neighbour Totoro, a Studio Ghibli film. There's his little tail. Well, little, it's quite a big tail. But he does stand up on his own, and he is for one of my cousins who recently had a baby, and it's for her little boy. My cousin is a big fan of Studio Ghibli films, and My Neighbour Totoro is just one of those that is it's special. It's truly special. Absolutely love the film. So I've made her Totoro for her little boy. So yeah, I can finally gift him. So he may not feature in my July month end video. I may not have the physical toy because I'll be giving him in 2 weeks time. I think that's the next time I see my cousin, so he will be gone. But yes, one of my finished objects for this week. I love him, he's beautiful. So there we go, those are my finished objects. Very pleased that I managed to get those done, especially Totoro, because at least I can gift him now. Now we're on to my works in progress for this week. I have worked on quite a few different items this week. Some of them will be familiar, and 2 of them, checking my notes, 3 of them, oh my, clearly I don't remember what happened last week. 3 of them are technically paused WIPs, so for long-term viewers, you may remember these projects, and yeah, I'm very excited to show you them. So we're going to start with this lovely pattern. This is my Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. This is a regular work in progress on this channel, but I am getting there. I have finally added in the last colour. I'm still working on the last but one colour as well. I'm just doing the colour fading. Sorry, I'm just trying not to lose a stitch. No, I think we're good. Hang on. Oh my goodness. Right, okay, we're there. So I have added in the last colour, but I still have the previous colour attached because I'm doing the colour melting. But let me show you. This Bulbasaur marker is where I got to last week. As you can see, I have finished off the lacework section, and as I said previously, I am in the colour melting section where the 2 colours are coming together. So there we go. It is huge now. I just haven't got a clue how to show it to you. Bear with me. I'm really trying not to lose stitches. And what I really should be doing is putting holders on the end of my needles. Needle stoppers. Stitch stoppers, whatever they're called, I don't know. But here it is. It is ridiculously big. So this is the end that I'm working on. Then if I just go across, you can see that's the other end. So yeah, it's starting to really take shape now. I can't see what you're seeing, but I'm hoping you can see this lovely point at the bottom. Here in the middle, that's just a nice little bit of shaping, really. Ooh, I can't wait to wrap it round me. But yes, as I've said previously, the construction is absolutely fantastic. The pattern is by Andrea Mowry, so it's really intuitive and it's really lovely knit. These lacework sections, they're not too long, they're just right. So just as I'm getting to the end, I'm ready for garter. And as I say, just when I'm getting to the end of the garter rows on here, it just throws a nice little bit of lacework in to keep you interested. This is my marker that's splitting the 2 sections of the shawl off, and these stitches are becoming a lot less now. So the lower these become, the closer I am to casting off. So I'm very excited. And as I said, I have actually added in the last colour now. So once I've finished the colour melting, I will cut off, I will cut the yarn from the prior colour, and then it will just be using that final colour to finish off the shawl. I'm so excited. I am so excited to finish this shawl. Once it's done and it's blocked and I put it on, oh, I'm so excited. The yarn, my apologies, the yarn is all by West Green Loft Yarns, a UK dyer, absolutely fantastic UK dyer. She dyes a lot of muted colours, which I think you can see from my shawl. The shawl, I basically had 7, more than 7 actually, but I found 7 that worked together. Individual skeins of yarn dyed by West Green Loft Yarns that I've kind of acquired throughout the years, and I really wanted to do this shawl, and then I thought if I use 7 of these colours together and fade it, it will be a really subtle fade and it will be like a celebration of everything West Green Loft Yarns, and I think I've achieved that personally, if I do say so myself. I think it's a beautiful celebration of her yarn because honestly, her yarn is stunning, and I really wanted to do it justice, and I think this shawl pattern is perfect. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm really excited to get that cast off and start actually wearing it. So, oh, it's all good. Right, the next project, what do I have? Ah, here we go. I've left these all the way over here, which is normal, really, isn't it? The next project that I have for you is out of this lovely book. You might be asking, Emily, where's Peter the Blackbird? Unfortunately, Peter the Blackbird is still in his Ziploc bag. I haven't sewn a single part together, so I do apologise. Peter is still not finished. I prioritised Totoro this week, so hopefully I will have Peter for you as a finished object next week. But I have been working on Gilbert, so let me show you him. I've got to find the right page, hang on. Here we go. Right, so this is Gilbert the Pheasant. Absolutely gorgeous pattern. I mean, all of these are gorgeous. They're so beautiful. So this is by Toft, Kerry Lord of Toft, and this is out of the Partridge in a Pear Tree book. So Crochet the 12 Birds of Christmas, and I'm slowly working my way through. You can see 3 of them up there. Those are the first 3. Peter, bless him, will be the 4th, and he will end up there at some point. Gilbert is the 5th. Now, I'd actually done quite a lot of Gilbert last week. I've not done much more, I apologise, and fair warning. The marker is where I got to last week, and as you can see, all I've done is finish off his head. But I love those colours. How striking is that? It looks so good. So I finished his body. He's a bit lumpy. I think that's because of the different tensions with carrying the yarn and crocheting the body. So that could be why he's a little bit lumpy, but there we go. And his head, love the colours, beautiful. So his head is done. I've just got to do his limbs, wings, tail, legs, beak, and then sew in his eyes. I think that's all he needs. Yes, that's all he needs. So then, yes, that is Gilbert. As I say, not a lot of progress, but progress nonetheless. Right, let me move him over there because I'm running out of room very quick. The next project that I have to show you, I've been absolutely loving this project, and this is the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mowry. Hold that up so you can see. There we go. Hold that close. It's beautiful. It's a lovely combination of slip stitches and self-striping yarn. It's absolutely beautiful. Sorry, put that over there. Right. What I have been using for this, let me get them out, are these absolutely fantastic Zauberball Crazies. They are self-striping yarns, but they are also, sorry, I'm going to have to uncross my legs because for some reason my foot hurts. Self-striping yarns, and also they are, hold that up so you can see, they are 2 strands of yarn that are different colours applied together. And they're absolutely brilliant. They're absolutely stunning. I love watching them develop as you're knitting the project, basically. So I will show you where I got to last week. I've not done a massive amount, fair warning again. So I got to here last week, and then I've only done that much. But if I, again, it was Totoro madness last week. So if I hold that up, that's the wrong way. It's going well. It's going very well. Oh my. So that is what I've got so far. Move that way. There we go. So we cast on here, and then we increase until a certain point. So I'm keeping an eye on the weather. It looks like it's going to chuck it down. Yeah, so we cast on here and we increase. This edge is an I-cord edge, and what I failed to tell you last week is that once you've done a certain amount of length on this side, you then start an I-cord along the bottom. So there's an I-cord edge down here, and there's an I-cord edge along the top, and it's beautiful. I love it. So let me change that. There we go. So if I bring that close, you can kind of see you can see the self-striping effect, because what we're doing is we're holding one single skein the whole time, and then we're adding in the different skeins, the different balls as we go. So you can see the different colours mixing with the self-striping basically. Sometimes there are sections like this section, I think here, that's it. This section here, you can't really see the contrast colour. You can slightly, but not very much. Like with this section here, you can really see it looks really good. So that's the only thing I would say, is just make sure that your balls are high contrasting if you want those stitches to stand out. I'm actually quite liking how this is turning out, so I'm really happy. But I've just got to the section. I wish I'd done more actually. You can't really see it, can you? I've just got to the end, where the end of having this ball of yarn as my main colour, and I've just swapped it out for this ball of yarn. So this is now my main colour. So the self-striping effect will change to, I think you can just about see it here on the end. There's only like a couple of rows. As I say, I should have done more. There's a couple of rows there. So now I'm going to have a brighter self-stripe going on while I'm adding in my other contrasting colours. So I'm super excited to see how that starts to progress, because as I say, it's going to be a different self-stripe from going forward basically. But yeah, I absolutely love this pattern. It's been so much fun to make, and I'm absolutely loving seeing all these colours play with each other, and it keeps you interested because you just want to see what the next section is going to look like. Like this section that I'm doing now, I'm really excited to see the colours play with each other and just see how it starts to develop in terms of that self stripe. So that is what my shift looks like so far. Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to wear it. Oh, it's going to be so nice. Right, now I really need to get a wiggle on because we're at 25 minutes. My apologies. Okay, so now we come into the works in progress that are paused WIPs. So if you've been a long time viewer, you may remember these. If not, there will be new additions for you. So we're going to start with a lovely pattern out of this book. This is the Crochet Iconic Women book by Carla Mitrani. I love this book. There's two. There is another one, Crochet More, or is it More Crochet Iconic Women? One of the two, but there are two books by Carla Mitrani. And actually there's three. There's a Zodiac as well, but I don't have that one. Anyway, probably digressing. I have done many of Audrey Hepburn, because my family love Audrey Hepburn, so I had to make a lot of them. In fact, I think I've made 3. Yes. I don't actually have one for myself, so I better start making some more. The one that I am currently working on though, however, is, she's upside down, but it's Amelia Earhart. So if I open up the book and show you, there she is, Amelia Earhart. Now I've been working on her, and she's for my dad because, yeah, my dad requested her. She's got stuff on her. So if I show you where I got to, this was pretty much where I got to when I last showed you her. I think there were a couple of rows missing from her head, so I finished off her head. Her head is done. There you are. So there she is. She's got little blush going on. It's very cute. I love these noses. They're absolutely brilliant. But there she is. That is where I got to. I have since crocheted her little jacket, which is going to go around her. I went up a needle size for this because it wasn't working, and I may do a little bit of something else because it doesn't sit quite right for me. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if I need to do, I mean, it might work, but I had to go up a needle size for that. I have also done her arms. So there we are, there's her little arms. Actually, it looks all right now I've put a jacket on. It's not too bad. So that's that. And I have also, I need to turn this the other way around. There we go, hold her up. But I've also done her hat. So here is her hat. Ooh. Let me put her hat on actually. Bear with me, I should have prepared. Well, I say I've done her hat. I have done a lot of work on her hat. So there's her hat. Now her hat actually has her hair crocheted within it. So I'll crochet the hair. Let me take those off because it's difficult to hold her. I'll crochet the hair and that'll be part of the hat, and then I'll attach the hat to her head. What else do I need to do? Oh, I need to do her goggles on her hat, and she also has a little bit of hair that pokes out under there. So her hair from her hat is going to be crocheted all the way around the back. I had done most of it this morning, but I used the wrong colour, the wrong shade of brown. I think I'd used, no, I don't have it to hand, do I? But I couldn't decide on the shade of brown that I wanted for her hair. I've now decided, so I can crack on with that and get her done, because I'd like to gift her to my dad when I see him in 2 weeks' time, when I gift my cousin Totoro. So hopefully it'll be a gift giving session. But yeah, her head's a little wobbly because the hat's heavy. When she's got the hair on, that's going to be heavy, so I might have to do something to stiffen her neck. But that is where I'm at with her so far. Hopefully next week she'll be finished. But I absolutely adore Carla Mitrani's patterns. The yarn I'm using is a mixture between paper box yarn, I think it's cotton 4-ply, and Rikarumi, again cotton, it's fingering weight yarn. But I absolutely love making them, so I highly recommend checking out her book if you fancy it. As I say, there is another one, if you're not too fussed about these ladies, there is another book with another selection of ladies, and she also has, let me just double check, I don't think it's in the back of this one actually, I think it's in the back of the other one. She has, I believe, don't hold me to that, but I believe she has done the zodiac, so similar style, but all the signs of the zodiac as people, if you will. But yeah, highly recommend. Next work in progress that I have done some work on, this I really need to get a wiggle on. I really do. It's a bit ridiculous that I haven't finished it yet, and my partner does keep moaning at me every time he sees it on my cart. But it's going to have a reappearance for now. So this, to my long-time viewers, is my diamond lattice rug by Lily Knits. So I'm going to show you where I got to. I got to here. As you can see, really not that much, about 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches. But if I come back, I want to at least show you what it is, because for those of you who haven't seen it, you need to see this. It is stunning. So here we go. Oh my gosh, it's all right. The Robo Hoover took it. This is the rug that I have been working on. Have I framed that well? I think I have. This is the rug that I have been working on for quite some time. I think I started it during Vlogmas. This is how long I've been working on it, and I absolutely love it. It is crocheted, it's crocheted, sorry, and it's crocheted using Hobby, I think it's called, ribbon yarn, and it's, I can't remember the colours. One is white and I can't remember the name of the other one. It's not black, it's I don't have the ball band to hand, so, but I will try and set up a project page for this. I think there is one, but I'm not sure if I put the yarn colours in there, so I will make sure I do that before this video goes live tomorrow. But yeah, absolutely love this. This will hopefully go in my living room. I've still got, obviously this is the width of it here, a nice width, and that is going to go basically where the camera is now. There's a little coffee table, my sofa is opposite that, and it's going to go under the coffee table, but it's big enough that it's going to be, the coffee table will sit on it, but it will also fill a bit more of the living room because this room is huge. So that is my plan for this, and I'm super excited, and as I say, my partner really wants this finished. It's an interesting construction because you actually hold both yarns. So I am crocheting, but as I'm, so say for example at the minute I'm crocheting, coming closer, hello. So I am currently crocheting using the darker yarn. Let me unplug that, let me see, oh yeah. So I am basically crocheting using the darker yarn here, but I need to carry this along, so everything is going to be double thickness. So at the minute I'm holding the yarn to the back, so you can see that I'm holding this white strand to the back. I would then crochet, collect the yarn, bring it through, and as you can see that white yarn is trapped between the two, and then I would finish the stitch, and that's carried that white yarn behind. Now I think that needed to go in front, so I'm going to have to undo that because you have to change it when you change the row. But basically, yeah, I'm carrying that yarn, and as you can see, you can't really see, I'm going to turn it over the other side, you can't really see the yarn being carried. You can see it a little bit in sections like this, move that across, sections like this you can see it being pulled across, but it is really difficult to tell that that's what's happening. I'm sorry if none of that made sense, but it's just a really interesting way of crocheting that I've never seen before, that I've never done before. So that's why it's taking me a little bit of time, because I'm having to crochet a little bit tighter just to make sure that minimal amount of yarn is showing through. And yeah, it's really, really nice, and I'm so pleased with this rug, and I just want it finished, but it's so big and heavy that getting it out and working on it, it's quite a chore. So that's why it's been in pause for a little while, and that's why it doesn't come out very often. But when I do work on it, I can get a fair amount done. So I just need to keep ploughing ahead, it'll be fine. But that is the Diamond Lattice Rug by Lily Knits. Now I do have a bonus work in progress to show you, because I have actually pulled this out recently. It kind of lives in my little toolbox, and that is my Battenberg Blanket. Now I think I started this start of this year as part of a scrappy project, and my idea was to use scraps left over from my advent calendar, and that's what I've been doing, but I've just not been doing very many. But I will show you one now. So there's a square. As you can see, this is from my 2022 advent calendar by the yarn artist, and this colour is actually day 23. I'm a bit ahead of myself, and it's Monet's Bed of Chrysanthemums. I had to pick the one that I can't pronounce. But yes, so as you can see, all of Joanna's yarn is inspired by paintings, and they look so good. They honestly look so good. I do kind of regret not getting her calendar this year, because I would have actually quite liked to have added them into this calendar. But anyway, I've worked out that from all my scraps from my calendar, because I made the Dust of Snow wrap by Helen Stewart using this yarn. So please feel free to check my Vlogmas videos, or I think it's in my January wrap up video, might be, or the first video in January, that I'll show the full wrap in. So I had leftovers, and I figured out that the leftovers from the shawl, I can make 5 squares for the Battenberg blanket. So that gives me, I think, about 120, because it was a 24 20 gram mini skein calendar. That's what it was. So I can make about 5 per leftover, which is great. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that to say, yes, it's still here. Yes, I'm still working on it. It's just taking a lot of time. And I'm making a lot of plans in my head for it. So stay tuned with that one. And my plan is going to be to show you any progress in my month-end wrap-up videos. I think it's going to be a bit much to keep showing it in this video, in the weekly podcasts, but I will do it in the month-end wrap-up just to let you know where I'm at with it. Sorry, I knocked my drink over. It's in a bottle, closed bottle, it's fine. But yeah, I just wanted to re-highlight that, because I've not been showing it in my month-end wrap-up because I haven't been working on it. And yeah, I was just proud of myself. I worked on it, so it is here. Right, that covers all my works in progress. So now we're on to cast on. I only have one cast on for you this week, and it is a spoiler, massive spoiler alert. So my cast on for this week, I think you may have already guessed it, is by Stephen West. So I'm taking part in Stephen West's first ever sock along, surprise sock along even, for 2023, and it started Thursday last week. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it. But yes, so I will be showing my progress on a weekly basis. The good thing is, when I show you my progress, when you see it, the next clue will be out, because my videos, I upload them every Thursday at around 4 o'clock British Standard Time. And by that time, the next clue will be out. So hopefully I'm not spoiling too much for you, but I will show you my progress, and I will always give you a spoiler warning before I show you my progress. So without further ado, spoiler warning, if you want to skip the Stephen West Contrast Blast Surprise Sock Along 2023, if you want to skip anything to do with that in terms of the pattern or anything, please skip ahead to the next section. I will have it bookmarked below. Pause the video now, scroll down in the description, find the next section, which will be acquisitions, or skip that if you want. You don't have to watch acquisitions. Just make sure you skip to that next section because I am about to spoil the Stephen West pattern. I will wait. We good? Hopefully we're good. So now I'm assuming you're happy to see any progress on the Stephen West Sock Along for 2023. So firstly, I'm going to quickly show you my colours again. I chose a lovely blue and a lovely orange. For those of you who don't know, I hand dye my own yarn. I have a small business and all of my colourways are inspired by motorsport. Motorsport is a huge passion of mine. I am a very big lover of motorsport, mostly the World Endurance Championship. So a lot of my colourways will have been mostly inspired from the Le Mans 24-hour race because you like what you like, right? I have done some F1 colours, but mostly the World Endurance Championship. So these two colourways, they may be the most recognisable of the colours that I dye. These are actually the golf colourways. This one, they are both part of my 1969 GT40. That is the car that won Le Mans in 1969, and I'm a huge fan of GT40s. I think I said that last week, but I am happy to say it again. So these are technically the golf colourway. It's been used on many different cars throughout the years. It's very iconic in terms of motorsport. Yeah, so obviously this had to be dyed. So obviously this is the orange and this is the blue. So these are the colours that I'm using. I thought they'd be perfect for the socks. And I'm so pleased with how it's looking. I'm going to try not to drop any stitches, but ta-da! Oh, something is shining on it. Oh no. Oh, there we go, that's fine. There we go. So this is my progress so far. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, really enjoying it. So let's start from the top. I should have put this on a sock blocker, shouldn't I? Oh, I'm coming closer. Ugh. There we go. So you've got the normal rib at the top, which was great. And then you've got these lovely cables which cut across. I thought that was really pretty. I really liked the way that looked, this bit here. And then we did these steps with the two colours, which I think looks fantastic. I absolutely love it. Now, I did have a bit of a couple of problems, because let me show you my second sock. I usually use, I've not done anywhere near as far on my second sock, excuse me, but I have started it. So here's my second sock, ta-da. I use the magic loop when I make socks. I feel like it gives me more wiggle room to manipulate the stitches and work on it. And that is just how I prefer to knit socks. I prefer that length. I prefer to be on a cord. I don't like double pointed needles. I have used double pointed needles in the past and they just don't work for me. So that's what I use. However, when it came to, I'm trying not to lose stitches. When it came to the pattern kind of coming across the two, between the two needles, I was struggling with tension and I couldn't quite get it to work. I mean, it looks all right, what I've done, I think. But I couldn't quite get it to work. It's all right, that hole is just because I need to zip that up. That'll remedy itself when I get to the next row. But yeah, I was really struggling with that. And so I dug out my tiny circular needles. I'm getting there with these. I think as long as I'm not doing anything too finicky, this is just stockinette stitch. As long as I'm not doing anything too finicky, I can use them. Yeah, otherwise I'm not a fan, but that's why they're on those. We'll see what he's got in store next. But that's that is the first sock, clue 1, done. And as I say, I have started on sock 2. I'm not going to be harsh on myself and make myself finish both socks every week. This is as much as I wanted to do this week, so that's all I've done. I may do a bit more on this one tonight, I don't know, but I'm happy. As long as I get one sock caught up, that's fine. What Stephen also says is that there's a right and a left. We don't have to do the right and left because the pattern's slightly different. They're going to kind of, I think, mirror each other. So both socks are different, but only if you want them to be different, which I think is great because, you know, not everybody is super comfortable with socks. Some people might be doing this as their first sock, for example. So Stephen has given you that lovely encouragement to say, if you're not comfortable doing a right sock and a left sock, don't worry about it. Just do 2 right socks or 2 left socks. Perfectly fine, which I think is great. I, however, do knit a lot of socks, so I'm very, very comfortable to do the left and the right. So that is what I'm doing. I just, as I say, I haven't done much in my second sock yet. So there we have it. That is my current cast on. Absolutely loving the pattern so far. How are you guys finding it? If any of you out there are doing it, how are you finding it? It is my first Stephen West sock. I've done the mystery shawls before. But yeah, it's my first sock that Stephen's designed. I know he's designed many, many more, but it's the first one that I've actually cast on of his. I'm loving it so far. I think it's really interesting, and I mean, I knew it was going to be because it's Stephen West. Stephen West designs are always super interesting. So, and I'm actually liking how it looks at the minute as well. I really, really think that's lovely, and I'm really happy with the colours that I chose because I think they're going to work really well. But yeah, really pleased. Anyway, welcome back. That is enough of the spoilers. Spoilers are over. We are done with spoilers. So we are now onto the acquisitions section. I only have one acquisition for you today. I'm just checking that I haven't forgot anything else. I do have a sneaky, if you're interested, I do have a sneaky show and tell of some colourways that I'm dyeing, so I'm going to show you that in a bit. But before I show you that, acquisitions. I ordered I think it was from the Tight Stitch Co. They basically are a UK company that stock furls crochet hooks. Now, I was missing a 5mm. I think I have them in all the other sizes. I just didn't have a 5mm. And then the Tight Stitch updated their website and they had a couple more in stock and they had a 5mm crochet hook. And I chose a beautiful one. I'm really pleased, and I don't have this this particular colour of hook, so I will show you. It is a furls hook. It is a streamline resin hook, and this is part of their Zodiac collection. This is the Sagittarius hook. I'm going to take it out. It's beautiful, and it's a 5mm, as I said, so there it is. The 5mm Sagittarius hook. I'm sorry, my ring light is reflecting off it. I don't know how to do it so it's not. But there it is. Beautiful, beautiful. As I said, 5mm hook. I love these resin hooks. They're absolutely stunning. I think I have said before that I wouldn't want to drop them on the floor. But they are beautiful, and they're built in a way that help me crochet a lot looser. They're just so wonderful to use. So I'm so happy that I finally have a 5mm. So I have one of each size now, for me anyway. So I am extremely pleased. That is my acquisition for this week. In terms of future acquisitions, I'm not sure anything's going to be coming anytime soon. So next week might be a bit quiet, which is good. It's good for my bank. But yes, so I have a cheeky little extra thing for you today, just because I'm so excited that I actually got the die pots out again. For those of you who don't know, you may know now because I have touched upon it a little bit in this episode, but I do have my own little hand-dyed yarn business. I don't like to touch upon it too much because I don't want to be in your face with it, if you know what I mean. But I really wanted to show you something that I've been working on because I'm so excited. I think the colours look amazing. And they're tester. These are tester colours, so a little insight into how I do things. So I have basically, after Le Mans, I decided there was a colourway that I really wanted to try, and it's the hypercar, the Peugeot hypercar from this year basically. Le Mans, they had a different livery, but their main livery, in fact, if you go on Lego's website and you have a look at their Peugeot car, there will be a grey, very beautiful, it's a Le Mans, the shape I would liken to a Le Mans prototype, which is a class that they're phasing out. I'm gutted they're phasing it out, but it looks very similar, and it's basically a very, very flat car. It doesn't have a wing, which is fantastic, absolutely love it. But yeah, so it's a deep grey, it's got black on it, and it's got very, very beautiful hit of almost yellowy greeny colour, neon yellowy greeny colour. It's beautiful. So the first one I'm going to show you is just the grey. Now this grey I do need to dye on top of because it's not dark enough. This grey needs to be darker. But what I like to do is I like to dye some minis. These are still wet. In fact, the other colour that I have to show you, I haven't washed it yet. But anyway, I like to dye up mini skeins to test the colour on its own. Just to see how the yarn behaves with the colour, and just to make sure that I'm getting the right colour that I need and the right saturation that I need. I also use a little tip for you. I don't think I've got the bag here, so I can't even show you, but I use zip ties for my yarn. I will unskein it, so once you've got it all skeined up, I'll eventually get there. It's wet, so it's not going to work, but when you've got the yarn like that, you unskein it, and then I put my zip tie through the yarn. There you go. And this just means that when I dye the yarn, when it's in the bath, and you know, when I'm taking it out and washing it, when I'm hanging it out to dry, it just means that it's not going to get tangled. It's going to keep it as it should be. I'm not going to get anything mixed up. It's just a nice way to do it, and plus it gives me easy manoeuvrability in and out the dye pot. The other thing with these zip ties, because you're probably thinking zip ties, you know, they're one time only use. No, these ones, if I show you, these are multiple use zip ties. So if I press that little thing there you go. So I'm going to put that on my arm. So this is just a normal zip tie, but you can lock it. There you go. So that's locked. But as I said before, just press that little button in and we're out. So I have used these over and over again for dyeing yarn. They're great because it means that I don't have to keep buying zip ties, and it also means that I am being waste conscious because I'm not having to chuck away zip ties. I used to use acrylic yarn to be my tie. That was no good. Zip ties all the way, and especially multiple use zip ties, because yeah, no waste, fantastic. I absolutely love them. So that is the first colour, that's the grey. Now the second colour, I think I've nailed this. I'm so excited, that's why I wanted to show you. But this colour I love. This is supposed to be that neon green yellow, and there it is. Oh yes, that's pretty cool. It is a little bit, it's coming off a lot more yellow than it is green, but there is, I don't know, is that a bit better? Kind of. So there is quite a bit of green in there than what's being shown, but this is basically, as I said before, this is my tester yarn. This yarn needs washing because I've only just pulled it out the dye bath. But yeah, so that is that hit of colour. So if I hold the two together, there you go, those are going to be the two. Bear in mind this grey needs to be a bit darker, so I'm going to dye a second lot of the colour on top of it so it'll come out a bit darker. All these colours, when they dry, they do, as I say, they are wet at the minute, so they will dry a bit paler, but those are going to be the colours that I'm going to put together. There's not a lot of this colour within the car, so it's going to be just a very small hit of this colour, but I think that's going to look really effective. Very excited. But yeah, I just wanted to show you those because yeah, just something a little extra. And also, if ever you do want to get into dyeing, I do highly recommend these zip ties. They are fantastic. But yeah, there we go. Oof. I don't know why I always think I'm going to try and keep it under an hour. I'm just under an hour, I think. I might not be with the intro and outro and everything, but firstly, thank you so much. If you stuck with me through the updates section, thank you so much for listening. Yeah, it's just nice to waffle sometimes, and it means a lot to me that you listen to me and you not put up with me. I think that, I don't know, but yes, I hope that you don't mind my little waffle at the start, and I really don't take offence, and I really don't mind if you skip that. That's why I put the chapters in, so you can just watch these videos and only jump to the sections that you're interested in. That's perfectly fine, I totally get that. But yeah, just a massive thank you for watching and for all your support, all your comments. I love reading the comments, so please keep those coming. You know, keep on telling me what you're up to, what you're working on, what you like about the videos as well, because that helps me know what kind of content you want to see. I am going to be quite busy this month, so I might not be able to do any bonus videos for you, but they are still in the back of my mind. I haven't forgotten. It's just I've been very busy. But yeah, again, thank you so much for all your support, for all your likes, for all your comments. Really does mean the world to me, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of the week.